Welcome back already to the TI4 Qualifiers. We're in the China playoffs, day 1, presented by Monster. I'm Gods, joining me is Fogged. We've got ourselves game 1 of a best of 3 winner bracket final. Winner guaranteed a spot in Seattle, either in the main event or in the wildcard matches. Everyone's kind of predicting LGD, but now we're getting into the nitty-gritty of it. The draft underway.
Yeah, and now we do see something which hasn't been banned out or actually picked too much. I mean, he's been picked a good season amount by LGD, but CIS decides to ban out a Visage.
What do you think? It's a hero LGD known for running quite a lot of with their supports, but do you think it's like there's some overall purpose with this ban? I
think it's fine. I mean, they probably just look at it and they're like, we don't really want to play versus this hero. LGD is very comfortable with it.
Yeah, there we go. We're back.
Whatever, but I mean, I don't think it really makes too much of a difference because overall the bans have been pretty similar throughout this entire qualifier. Batrider being banned at almost every game, Invoker as well, Lycan, same thing. But so I don't think it's going to make too much of a difference. It's just really just team preference.
It means a few other sort of like Centaur type heroes in the pool, which teams aren't even prioritizing that high anymore anyway. So, CIS first pick, Ancient Apparition. The Chinese team still love the Ancient Apparition. One of the support heroes which hasn't fallen off there as much as I'd say other regions. Like, why don't you feel Western teams pick this hero as much anymore?
I think some teams do. I mean, we've seen Mouse pick it. If it's there, they first pick it like every single game.
AA, offensive tri-lane all day long.
That's like their absolute favorite. But I think it just depends on how you want to make your lineup. I still think Ancient Apparition is extremely powerful. Like global presence, 45-second cooldown ultimate. His chilling touch is just absurd. If you can get early engagements, you basically just win because of that one hero. And now we do see LGD actually go for early to the support Sand So it's dual melee right off the bat, but I think it can end up working. Lifestealer is a hero that we've been seeing a lot in the Chinese qualifier, but not really anywhere else.
Chinese teams love Lifesteal. That's the one thing which has not changed over the last year and a half. Like IG used to run it all the time, and teams still just run it non-stop. It does kind of force you to pick up another core hero. It's never that Lifesteal of one core, 4 protect, 1 style. You're normally getting some kind of a semi-carry if you're mid or you're off lane, but I'm a big fan of Lifesteal. I think the hero is somewhat underrated in some of the Western teams.
Right away, if you just look at what they have right now, it's very early to say, but Sand and Lifesteal, those two heroes together, they can find kills all over the place with just those two. Even if they don't want to dedicate an MP, they can just stun, infest gank, boom, somebody's going to be dead for the most part.
Yeah. So as for CIS, haven't revealed anything whatsoever about their draft, just the support Ancient Apparition pick. Generally, we've been seeing Black play sort of more true carries, like we've seen Naga Sirens, we've seen Morphlings, but every now and then there was a 1-2 hour game where he was playing a Slack, so he is somewhat flexible as far as the carry role goes.
Yeah, absolutely, and we're just going to end up seeing what they want to do. If they can even opt for aggressive tri-lane, I think, at this point, because they see Sanking's a semi-greedy hero. Lifestealer at the same time, his laning has really just not been as good as it used to be, just from the nerfs that he's received, and as well all the other buffs that other heroes have gotten. And now we do see CIS go for Mirana, so even more so, this is right now there's a good potential to set up an aggressive tri-lane if they want to.
Traditionally, CIS ran a lot of support Mirana. I think it was Ayo who used to play this 4-position Mirana. When CIS first kind of rose to fame with this Sniper plus Wraith King strat of theirs, they were always doing the support Mirana. Whether or not that's still going to be the case in this series, we'll have to wait and see, but something they were quite well known for. As for CIS, now we get into the next ban stage, and they're going to ban out the puck. No surprises there. Anything that kind of synergizes well with a Lifestealer as like a setup initiator, you may want to ban out here in this stage. Yeah,
absolutely. I can completely agree. Puck against the Mirana and the A that they already have is absolutely devastating, so no shocker that they're banning there. Wraith King banned out by LGD, so right now we're seeing very team-specific bans. They know what the other teams want, so they just ban it out right away. We see Storm banned out by CIS. Not a big shocker there, like we were saying before. Anyone who can infest gank with a Lifestealer, you don't really want to have on that team, since they already dedicated the first pick to Lifestealer. It reveals a bit, but LGD, it doesn't really seem like they care.
Do you feel LGD have just been drafting stronger than most of the other teams in the qualifier so far? That's part of the reason to their success? Or?
I think majorly, they're usually their drafts, but overall their play, these are much more known players. They have much more experience, so it's not too much of a shocker there.
Yeah. And as far as this draft goes, are you happy with the direction CIS have taken with the opening here, or do you feel it's just we're only seeing 2 picks is not enough?
I don't think it's enough yet, but right now I like the idea that they have. I don't really like the fact if they go for the support Mirana. I think a core Mirana would probably end up doing better, but it's still too early to tell. It depends on if they want to pick a really hard type of carry and then just have their mid laner also be like a semi carry type thing, but it's still a bit early to say, and we do see LGD ban out the Naga. They do not want to have to deal with what happened that long game yesterday, and that's how CIS took the game from them, so they don't want that to happen again. They don't want to give CIS any chances to get any games off of them.
Yeah, still a Morphling in the pool, probably the other fairly popular carry throughout this event. if CIS want to try and get that for black. But as things stand here, LGD probably pretty content with the lifestealer. What, as far as mids and offlaners go, what do you kind of look to pick when you have the lifesteal on your team? Like, you need some other sources of damage, generally speaking.
Could be a lot. I mean, there's so many different offlaners still left. I think Nyx is extremely powerful. The double impales. I mean, Sand King Burrow Strike plus an impale is an incredible combo, because if two people get lined up, if you have your blink daggers on both these heroes, you can just chain stun and just blow people up with that, as well as the fact is how much pressure Nyx puts on the map. So I wouldn't be too surprised if LGD tries to go for Nyx, but they don't have to reveal it just now. I think they're probably going to go for their second support before they do that.
Still Nature's Prophet in the pool as well, who got kind of highly prioritized in other scenes, and it's one of your, well, not yours, but Fear's least favorite heroes. The Viper gets taken here.
I hate that hero too, man.
Okay. No love for the Viper.
No love for the Viper. He's really strong if you have a good lineup with it and if you can just play around him well. So for LGD, I think it's a really strong hero. And overall, what the hell is a Mirana going to do versus a Viper overall? Like, that hero just is so tanky and he can just run somebody down very easily.
Yeah. So for now, we get a Viper lifesteal. It does give you that extra bit of damage output when you've got the Viper on your team as it is. So CIS, they kind of know a bit more what's coming their way now. With the Viper lifesteal, no offlaner picked up just yet, but you can expect like a standard 5-position support to go with the Sand King. LGD don't run junglers very often. It's like very rare that they pick up the Chenner and Enchantress.
Yeah, we do see, I think it's, who is it? It's DD that plays the Enchantress, or is it
DD plays the junglers. Taobao's their sponsor.
Okay, oh yeah.
DDC's what's he doing with his name there? I was like...
Yeah, I always get confused by that. That's my mistake either way. But yeah, we do see CIS does go for that semi-carry that I was saying. They do the Dragon Knight. But picking a Dragon Knight into a Viper is a little bit risky. I mean, if they just put that Viper mid, he can really just put the Dragon Knight down so hard. Okay. So, I mean, kind of strange to be seeing them do that.
Yep. Having some internal conflicts here at the BTS studio.
Tensions are high.
Yeah, I know. God, this... Bit of a preview into what some of the team states are right now after the TI qualifier failings for some teams.
Personally, right now, I'm giving the draft, even though the Dragon Knight's a bit weak versus the Viper, I like where CIS is going with the draft, and LGD has to, I was about to say, they have to pick up a jungler, someone that's going to be able to make a lot of space on the map. The Enchantress can stack the jungle for the Sand King from, like, just so he doesn't have to go do it on his own, at the same time as running around and trying to gank. And Viper and Enchantress, that Dragon Knight's going to have to be extremely careful in that mid lane.
Yeah. And Sand King, I think teams are kind of just playing him, like, I think less so LGD are going to fall to this mistake, but some teams fall into the trap of, like, let's just be greedy, farm, jungle stack every single game. The hero can gank early on. He's got great ganking potential when you pair him up with someone like an Enchantress.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what, Lifesteal, you can kind of... He doesn't need to have the most farm. If you want, you can leave him alone for a bit in a lane while Sand King and Enchantress go make work around all the map. And if in Sand King and Enchantress can find a bunch of kills, then it doesn't really matter if your lifesteal is getting put down so much. And now we do see a hero that hasn't been picked at all.
One of the most, like, average heroes in the game, I would describe. Like, Winner is just, like, average in every regard. Yeah. Not a bad hero by any means, but doesn't really excel anywhere. And, like, the win rate for this hero is pretty... mediocre, I think. It's like down near like 30 to 40% win rate, I think, last I checked.
Yeah, it's very, very low. I mean, I personally love the hero. The problem is just where do you put her? And it looks like they're going to actually, if it could be either a core Wind Ranger or just like a support. I mean, maybe the Mirana is going to be the support in this instance and the Wind Ranger will be more of a carry, but I don't know if they really want to do something like that unless they have some, you know, unless they practice some strats. Wind Ranger overall, though, power shot, and now that they set up with this power shot, they have a little bit of outspam, so now they don't really have to worry about their towers just getting crushed. Now they have the Dragon Knight Breath, they have the power shot, they have, like, I guess Ice Vortex slows it down a bit, but right now that sets up a little bit of outspout for them.
Yeah. Something like Orange Esports used to a lot of, like, go back TI3, they do these offensive trial lanes with, like, Windrunner +2. Like, you could do a Windrunner, Mirana, AA trial lane, those three heroes all 600 range with Chilling Touch. That's pretty painful. That's your Lifestealer and Sand King getting completely crushed in lane.
Yeah, but if CIS does dedicate those three heroes to that top lane, I think LGD will be perfectly fine with that. They can even just move the Sand King around to do other things all over the map. And now, wow, we do see a Brewmaster. So LGD going for a very, very strong mid-game lineup. Yeah, this is just, I mean, I like this Panda pick. I really do.
It's really LGD kind of playstyle in a nutshell, like heavy mid-game 5-man, generally speaking. Like,
and they're setting up lanes that they can easily move around with. So if, like what I was saying was, if CIS decides to opt to put for like an aggressive tri-lane type thing, they're just going to leave the Lifestealer up there and just go gank for this Panda's lane and make CIS have to react to them, which is really what you want to do in Dota. Like, you want to have the other team reacting to what you're doing, because it really just puts them behind.
It's 3 solo heroes who don't... And even the safe lane solo, if you're against an offensive trial lane, how are they going to kill you? They don't really have any good initiation between a Wind Ranger, Mirana, and AA. It's not like they can just straight up dive you under the tower here. They picked the Slark last, probably Black's hero. Yep, he snags that right away. So we saw him play this in that infamous 2-hour game, and going to be another Slark coming out for Black.
And it looks like they might...
Just straight up offlane the Wind Ranger? Is that what we're in for? Ayo's normally the support player for this team, and he picks up that support Mirana, so maybe just an offlane Wind Ranger with safe lane tri-lane, or do you even consider giving Slark a 1v1 matchup?
It looks like... I mean, Yao is the offlane player for LGD, right?
Yeah.
So Yao is going to be in the offlane with this lifesteal, and they're going to just get Rabbit a lot of farm on this Panda and have him just make a lot of space when he rushes his Blink Dagger. I kind of like this, because, I mean, lifesteal, like we've said, he's fallen off a lot, but if he just gets levels and he infests ganks all over the place, he's going to be able to get a lot of farm like that and put a lot of pressure on the map. He
can catch up better later, whereas their mid-game is very dependent on having the Blink Dagger on Brewmaster. It's like, you offlane the Brewmaster, you never get that Blink Dagger up. How are you ganking with a Lifestealer infest when your Sanking doesn't have Blink, your Brewmaster doesn't have Blink? It just doesn't really work, I guess. So. Yeah. I think LGD are very clever and strategic when they set up their lanes.
Very interesting drafting. I mean, I completely was wrong on basically every pick that I was thinking they were going to do. And they did not just decide to grab, I mean, Lifestealer, Panda, and Viper Core. Pretty strong throughout the mid-game. It's going to fall off a bit in the late game, in the very late game, but CIS does not have the strongest late game heroes either. So right now, I think I'm giving the favorable draft to LGD.
Yeah, I like the LGD mid game a lot here. We'll introduce our 2 teams here in game 1 of our winner bracket final for the TI4 Chinese qualifiers presented Monster. On the dire side is going to be LGD. The Chinese squad going to be led by their captain Yao on the lifesteal. We've got Rabbit playing the Brewmaster. We've got DDC on the Sanking. It's going to be Lin playing the Viper, and then finally we've got DD playing the Jungle Enchantress on the LGD side. For the Radiant side, it is going to be Team CIS, led by Black. It's going to be Inflame playing the Dragon Knight. We've got the Mirana being played by Ayo, generally as a support Mirana. We've got June on the Wind Ranger. And then towards the bottom lane, it is going to be the support Ancient Apparition played by Demons, and Slark in the hands of the captain himself, the German Tsar Black. So
I was going to say that's one thing CIS should do, because their heroes overall are pretty strong. I mean, in a level 1. Dragon Knight, not the best, but AA, of course, the Chilling Touch just makes your level 1 extremely powerful. So I think they should have tried to go into LGD's jungle and just ward it up so Enchantress doesn't have free reign, but LGD was ready for it. They had all 5 heroes perched up on the hill so that if they did go up there, it could have been disastrous. So right now, I mean, CIS is just gonna... I feel like they're just gonna fall behind a bit just because they need to do so much on the map. I mean, the best thing that they're going to have going for them is if Dragon Knight's able to just get a decent time in mid lane and pressure that tower. And now we do see even more different. Rabbit's going mid with Panda versus the Dragon Knight, and they're putting Viper short lane.
So maybe somewhat expecting it somewhat of an offensive trial here. Demon's actually in trouble. There's a double damage rune on Yao. Is he getting first blood? He's got boots first. Demons is screwed. Wow, offlane lifesteal with first blood. Easy peasy. He was trying to de-ward. He popped the sentry up there, and Yao just came out and said, look, I've got boots, and I just happened to find a double damage rune. Even without the double damage rune, maybe he doesn't get the kill, but with boots, he could theoretically just chase and chase forever.
That's...
He's got blades already. It's going to be such a fast phase boot.
They're not going to zone him out of this lane at all. Yeah. He's going to get absolute full experience down here, and that's going to be amazing for LGD, because that was the lane that I was going to say they're going to have a lot of trouble. But
they've gone for dual lanes. What do you think going for dual lanes here? Like, not having the tri-lane bottom lane obviously causing them some problematic starts.
I think it's probably their best choice. Like, if they did a tri-lane bottom, I don't even know how they're... I don't even feel like they can zone out a lifestealer anyway. I mean, he can just sit there and just back up as soon as they go on him. The only thing they have to worry about is if the pounce gets attached, but... Yeah, I mean, this is just gonna really work so well for LGD. Of course, after that first blood, it's gonna be amazing. He's gonna have like 2-minute phase boots or 2.5-minute phase boots.
I think the AA just got level 1 Ice Vortex as well, just to de-ward. Yeah, he's got Ice Vortex level 1.
Uh-oh, and we see mid. Here comes the smoke gank.
Just the Enchantress doesn't bring the Sand King along, and Inflame for now, pull back pretty far.
Ooh, it's actually... He's gonna rotate toward top. Yeah. Rabbit does not have mana for a collapse, so now they're gonna have to watch out for this Mirana and this Windrunner.
Yes, both heroes with an escape spell, but you've got an ensnare, you've got a clap. They're gonna get scattered from the high ground here. Ayo could be in some trouble. Does have a leap, I believe. The ensnare is there. The clap to fall. Ayo leaps. It's too late. Another kill going the way of LGD, and quick 2-0 kill lead. Less than 2 minutes in the game.
This is what LGD needs. They need to have like a very good early start in order for them just to be able to get decent items, and that's what's going to happen. I mean, Panda's in this mid lane. I guess they were a bit scared of that aggressive tri-lane like you were saying, which is definitely the right choice by them. But look at this. Yao doesn't give a he doesn't give a crap.
He took the gold. Like, it's not even just getting XP. He's like, I'll take the farm, I'll pull the creep wave to my tower.
He's going to be level 6 super early with phase boot, so he's going to be quite a presence in this game. Because, I mean, Lifestealer with farm versus a Dragon Knight he can just walk up to that Dragon Knight, and it's pretty miserable for him, especially if he's going to be pressured a bit. But it looks like the mid lane's going quite even, like it should be. I mean, Dragon Knight versus majority matchups, he just bottle crows and breathe fires.
That's even where you talked about sending Viper mid against Dragon Knight. Like, while Viper wins the matchup, it's like, well, DK can bottle rush and still get some farm. Like, DK's not like reliant on getting a huge amount of farm like a Morphling or a Shadow Fiend mid is necessary.
That hero just gets his 6, and it's like, uh oh, my tower's in jeopardy.
Yeah. So he's got his bottle. He also brings out a Bracer here, so very early Bracer pickup just to maybe deal with some of those early game rotations from either the Lifestealer or the Sand King Enchantress. So a bit of a small thing there. But once again, actually this time it's Mirana poached near the mid lane, maybe looking for an arrow on Rabbit, but these two heroes can't really kill Rabbit anyways.
Yeah, no way, especially because of like the chains that they did on Drunken Brawler. Harassing him, even doing anything to him, you miss every hit. It's so obnoxious. And we do see the Wildcat being set up for the Enchantress, so Dragon Knight's going to be under a little bit more pressure, but either way, it's not going to make too much of a difference. DD's just trying to do whatever he can with the creeps he gets. And he's a bit under-leveled on that Enchantress.
Yeah, I guess, sending quite a few creeps towards the middle lane, not really succeeding on getting kills there. He did get the kill top lane, so that's not the worst out here. Sand King doing a bit of farming as well. He's going to run into the win right here. Has gone for 2 points in the Burrow Strike, so not going for any kind of greedy jungle build when you've got the Enchantress on your team. I guess that's kind of self-explanatory.
Yeah. I thought he would actually go for that. And wow, Yao is putting so much pressure. He's even pressuring the Slark in the bottom lane. The Slark's doing, I mean, Black's doing incredible on creep score, but Yao is just able to bully him.
Yeah.
He's got phase boots level 5. He's about to hit his 6, and it's only got 4 minutes in the game.
This is really ugly. All three lanes look going so well for LGD, and I think if you're CIS, you think, come mid-game, your teamfight actually does not match up anywhere close to what LGD
now
have.
AA going to go down. He denies the rune, but at the cost of his life, probably not worth it.
Not worth it at all. Doesn't have the boots here. Rabbit will chase him down. One more crit to the face, and Rabbit boots bottle. That's his level 6, so now all you need is one support rotation towards the mid lane, and DK will go down as well. It would be at the Lifesteal or the Enchantress, and Enchantress smoking up, heads towards mid lane. There's a Observer plus Sentry there, but that's not going to scout out DD because he's smoked up.
Yeah, and this could be Inflame.
He goes for a creep.
And
Clap, ulti. Yep, they're going for this one. Inflame does have that Bracer, but that is not going to save his life. There's a Boulder Toss into a Centaur stun. Inflame, no TP support. No way out for him. 4th kill of the game for LGD. Everything's going well for him.
Yeah, everything's going just spectacular for them. They're going to put some pressure on this tower, and now Enchantress, like I was saying, he was having a little bit of trouble finding some levels, but getting a kill on the mid solo, that's what you want. Now he's level 4, and he's able to just put some pressure on this mid lane. And he threw a creep up. That's pretty nice. I mean, why not?
Yeah, it was pesky. You're trying to push, do some damage here. The creep was just being a bit pesky. Dude, how long does that last on creeps?
That was a long
massive.
8 seconds.
Yeah. I didn't see when it started, but yeah, man, that is a long Yule Scepter. We're going to see DDC at top lane, gets shackled up. The arrow going to land as well. DDC, maybe the first kill of the game for CIS. Yep, one more right click and a power shot. June gets CIS's first kill of the Chinese playoffs for the TI4 qualifiers, but not exactly the biggest kill.
Yeah, I mean, look at the Windrunner's farm right now. He's 17-5, so not too bad, especially because he got that kill there. But take a look at Yao. He's 23-2 in that offlane, and he's putting so much pressure. Black's trying to go on him right now in this bottom lane, or he's just going to go buy his phase boots or his treads. He gets his treads.
He's level 6, so what are you going to do? And Yao's got like 900 gold already. He's going to have such a fast either drums or armlet, whatever he wants to go for. And he's probably waiting for that Brewmaster to reach that Blink Dagger point before he rotates off his lane, because then he can go infest into Brewmaster and find some easy kills with that Blink Dagger.
I feel like right now they should be trying to put pressure on this mid lane a lot. Yeah, we see Potom rotating toward mid. Inflame pops his DK form, so he's going to pressure this lane a bit, and we probably will see some rotation from LGD just so they don't get any pressure on that tower. But a lot of this Dragon Knight form is going to be wasted running to the bottom rune.
Yeah, he's actually starting to get zoned out a bit by the solo Slack. With the Essence Shift, it is a pretty annoying matchup. Meanwhile, top lane, Sand King Viper team up, get a kill under the tier 1 tower. Nice little dive there. Viper with his level 6 ultimate just helps set up a kill there on the Wind Ranger. Even with Windrun in play, you just get slowed way too much. Yao
has something really smart. Even if he does get pressured in this bottom lane, he already has a TP scroll just in case. So if he gets gone on, he knows that the supports or anybody on the side of CIS doesn't really have any lockdown for him. He can just TP out right away.
All right, well, what does CIS need to do here? They're down quite a few kills. They don't really have a good line. Well, I guess DK can pressure Towers at level 6, but what's their kind of comeback plan here, if you're in CIS's shoes?
Man, they need to kill this Panda. They need to just not let him get too... He's already going to have a Blink Dagger very, very soon, though. But they need to kill this Panda. They need to put a ton of pressure. They need to just try to go for a tower. And this DK form is actually completely wasted. He didn't hit the tower once in mid lane. Yeah.
Do you think he should rotate to, like, the safe lane and try to, like, push with his DK ultimate? Or is it just, like, you need to stay mid, fight the Panda?
I think he should have done he should have done something with that DK form. It was completely wasted, really. So it's a pretty big deal, because now LGD has no pressure on them whatsoever.
Oh, Lifesteal going to be coming through the jungle. Does get saved by the AA here. Lifesteal's just going to dive into the tower. Inflame may go down. There's another Primal split up, and with this, Inflame's got no real way out of this one. Won't even get a chance to cast a single spell. Brought down. Yao taking a lot of damage. Does have an Infest. Needs to find a creep to use it to. The leap afterwards will bring him down. So a 1-for-1 trade for now, but Demons in trouble. Bottle tossed up. The Primal split about to wear off. Demons is going to go down just before. Meanwhile, Black's rotated. Kills off the Enchantress as well. So make it 2 for 2 now as Rabbit's on the run. Possibly going to be a third kill for CIS. Black.
Look at Black's build right now, too. He didn't go for the max pounce.
This means it's a long, long cooldown at level 1. 5 more seconds and he's got it, but the Dark Pack spam doing so much work. Black gets himself a double kill, so good rotation from the CIS carry player. Yeah,
absolutely. A little bit of an overextension there by LGD. But either way, I think that fight went pretty well for them. But I think I think it did go in the favor of CIS, though.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just a little bit too much. Yao was looking for an infest. I don't know if you can actually infest the pandas. I don't think so, but maybe. I mean, either way.
Maybe.
He just kind of ran for the creep wave.
Heroes, but yeah, he was trying to get that next creep wave coming along. DDC, meanwhile, going to get arrowed up. Ayo has been pretty on point with his power shot and a couple of right clicks. Not going to be there with the Sandstorm, but now he's on the run. Burrow Strike to the high ground. Clarity and TP for the leap up from Ayo. That'll bring him down, and now Ayo will TP himself out there. Really nice play from Ayo on that Mirana.
Yeah, I feel like DDC is just playing a little bit too over-aggressive. I feel like he could really just go into the jungle and just try to get his Blink Dagger early, and he's died twice already, so not doing too hot for him. Taking a look at the net worth right now, it's a little bit in favor of LGD, but nothing to brag about. It's
considering they started up like 4 kills to nothing and were winning, at least farming in all 3 lanes. I don't know if you can say winning all 3 lanes. You'd expect maybe LGD to be a bit better off now. They've completed the Blink Dagger now, but until they start really 5-manning getting down towers, this is not going to be the scariest thing, and they're still short of Viper Mech, which I imagine is going to be his next item coming up.
Yeah, and even though Demons, the AA, had a pretty hard time in this in the beginning of the game, he actually already has level 5, so it's not the worst for him after him dying twice.
LGD are going to quickly get very far ahead on the net worth if they can get all these towers down. They just got down the mid-tier 1 tower. Even though it gets denied, it's still a tower down. They get the top tier 1 tower, so quick 2 towers going their way. That's your Viper Mech, that's your Brewmaster Blink Dagger, your drums is going to be up soon on the Lifestealer. All these items will suddenly come up, and suddenly CIS will be like, oh crap, we can't fight, we can't defend towers. Oh, suddenly we're down 10k gold.
Yeah.
Like, this game is close for now, but if they don't control the next 5 minutes of the game, suddenly they're down 10k.
Yeah, absolutely. They really do need to do that. And it looks like that's what they want to do. Black's going to be going for the early Lothars to try to just make space around the map for his team, which he really needs to do. He needs to find some pickoffs. And yeah, DDC rotates toward bottom, and this is something he should be doing, just farming up. He's not really feeling too pressured down there. He's level 6. He's about 1,000 gold from his Blink Dagger. And if they can even group up now with this Viper, with the mech, they can go for this bottom tower. And yeah, I think that's the next move. But CIS smoked up. They want to put pressure on this bottom tower with the DK form.
I think they realize what's going on with the Sand King down here, looking to farm up that. He may scout the, he's going to scout the Smoke Gang from the high ground. Sandstorm gets himself out of there. Inflame trying to chase, but not going to get in range for a Dragon Tail. And they can turn this one around. TP's coming. Rabbit's got an infested life still inside of him. Have they got detection, though, for the Moonlight Shadow? Doesn't look like it. There's a Sentry on DD, but he's nowhere to be seen, so probably going to join up with his team towards this bottom lane. Also hits level 6, so just having Impetus gives you a nice little bit of extra damage output, some dust coming out, and most importantly, the fast earn for LGD is going to be a very crucial item as well when they start 5-manning.
They baited some rotations down there, but at the same time, DK form was used again, and it has done. It has literally just been wasted both times now at this point. And now LGD is
they're happy to rotate. They want to rotate bottom. Like
yeah, they're so happy. This is what they wanted. Like mid tower, where DK is supposed to be pressuring a lot, is absolute full health. It's 25 damage done on it. And now bottom lane, Black's going to go on, but he should be fine.
Yeah. And Brewmaster started to cast ulti and like animation cancelled that one, realizing quickly that it's like, oh wait, not going to work. It's a slack. So they leave DDC top to farm, but more importantly defend the tier 1 tower. CIS also trying to pressure the mid lane, but it looks like bottom tier 1 may be going down here as a result of these rotations here. But only 2 LGD heroes committing to this one, so CIS, if they want to defend this, definitely can.
Oh, this mid lane, this is going to be a huge... Oh, Rabbit missed the blink.
They may get the kill regardless. The Primal Split's there as well as the Lifestealer Infest. He's trying to chase after the Mirana with the Cyclone, and yep, he'll get the Cyclone. Mirana thrown up in the air here. They need to get Boulder Toss. Mirana's going to try leap to the high ground. Mirana's going to get it. Nicely played there. The Boulder Toss will follow. Wow.
As well as the Impetus.
Yeah.
And now June actually is getting gone on top, and he might be in some trouble. Yeah, he's probably going to go down here.
Yep. DDC. Shackle's not going to land, and Slack actually did end up killing the Viper somewhere else here, but the Burrow Strike will finish off your Wind Ranger. Viper died bottom solo to a Slack. That's
a big kill there for Black. I mean, he's level 11
kill,
now.
Yeah.
Oh!
Okay, as you say that.
Uh-oh.
It was a big kill until you die right after. But getting a solo kill on the enemy carry hero gives you solo XP, gave him almost enough money for a Shadow Blade. Would have been huge if he got away with it, but unfortunately Brewmaster shows up and
He didn't miss time his blink that time.
That's Brewmaster's level 11. He's got level 2 Primal Split.
At 12 minutes, that's going to be incredible. I mean, he's going to be if he gets his Ag Scepter relatively early in this game, it's going to be so disastrous for CIS, as we do see a pause coming out from the Mirana. Maybe they're having some lag problems.
Well, we'll see what LGD look to move from here. They've still got that T1 bottom tower left standing, but they're just going to get so much scarier now. Level 2 Brewmaster Primal Split. Pretty much whenever it's up, they're trying to fight or go for towers, knowing that this pretty much is going to control any fight that comes their way. You just can't kill... I mean, if you hit a Shackles and a Dragon Tail on the Brewmaster, you can probably kill him before he pops off his ultimate. But that's something which LGD are just not going to allow to happen, really.
What's so ridiculous that I just really want to point out, Yao is out-leveling the Viper. So the off-lane lifestealer is out-leveling his short-lane carry. So, I mean, yeah, it was a bit of like a dual lane because of the Sanking always being there, but Yao I think he's playing amazing so far. His rotations have been on point. He's infesting and getting infest ganks properly, ganking the Dragon Knight over and over and over and just putting him down. And that's, I mean, CIS does have this Slark to back up on, and he's close to his Lothars, but Dragon Knight's just getting put down so heavily in this game. He's 0-3, and he hasn't really been able to use this Dragon form the way it's supposed to, like I was saying before. They did like 450 damage on that mid tower, but it's 12 minutes in. If there's a Dragon Knight, you usually see that mid tower dead by now. Yeah,
it's either you get towers or you get kills, and he's done neither. So it's been a bit of a non-factor as far as where we stand now. They haven't really had the best supports for rotating to help out his lanes, like AA Moran. I guess they're not really a good ganking duo. I guess if you're hitting a drag, when DK hits level 6, you can stun into an arrow, but LGD have just been on point. They basically rotated first. It was before DK even hit level 6. Brewmaster got there because he got the kill on the support, then gets a kill mid as soon as he hit 6 before the DK's even there. So I think LGD have just been kind of like one step ahead of CIS most of the way.
Yeah, absolutely. And looking at just the warding too, CIS feels very pressured. They have 3 defensive wards out on their side of the map right now. And yeah, LGD doesn't, I mean, they kind of do have some defensive wards up as well, but I think that they're not really going to feel too pressured in this game. DDC's going to go back heal. He's about 600 gold from his Blink Dagger. Rabbit's going to be getting he's probably going to have an Ags within like, probably the next like 6 or 7 minutes if they're able to find some kills and capitalize on this bottom tower going down with their Viper mech. And CIS's 5-man lineup is quite garbage in comparison to LGD's.
Yeah, and then you can look at LGD even considering Roshan. Like they're on the dire side. They've got themselves an Enchantress. If you get a couple points in the Untouchable, suddenly taking Roshan's pretty early on with complete map control. You take the tier 1s, even take a tier 2 or 2. You've got yourself Roshan, then you have an Aegis on your Lifestealer or your Viper, and you can take any outer tower you want.
That's pretty damn scary. Yeah, I mean, I guess the good thing for CIS is they do have that AA ultimate in case they do go for that Roshan. He's able to just spam it there. And the Potem ulti, but at the same time, Enchantress is ready for it. He's got Dust and Sentries in case the Mirana ulti does go down, so they're ready for it.
Yep. Well, we'll see what CIS have in store for us. We can see them there in China at the wonderful hotel playing in it. It's so weird. It's still weird for me seeing Black in China. Like, just seeing him there, like, playing on a Chinese team. It's just this...
I'm glad, though, honestly. He deserves it. He really does. He's tried so hard, and he just deserves a shot to come to the international. I really do hope that he's able to come through at least at 2nd place. This game, I mean, we were all saying LGD is the strong favors in this one, but CIS is not doing too bad of a job at this point. They've had a couple rough start just because, you know, that Lifestealer DD rune with boots, like that poor AA. I feel for him. That's the worst. That's the worst feeling.
Do you think he gets that kill without the DD, or is it?
No way. I mean, he even opted for Ice Vortex, so chasing him down would have been pretty damn difficult, but he would have been able to get like at least backup from his teammate from the Slark in time before he died. So that DD rune is just so clutch.
Okay. Well, we'll see. Hopefully, waiting on that Dragon Knight to reconnect, and we'll be back underway with this game 1 of a best of 3. It is the winner bracket final. Winner of this going to Seattle. Loser still alive. Drops down to the loser bracket versus the winner of Tongfu as well as DT Club. That's our next best of 3 for today. We've got a few teams already qualified for TI. There's still a couple of spots left, and the thing I'm most looking forward to is going to be that wildcard match. Like, as much as like it's great to secure yourself that first spot, like as a caster and a viewer, it's going to be so exciting to see how that wildcard tournament goes down. Like,
let's go MVP.
Yeah, Korea, we believe.
We do believe.
Well, man, I bet say I don't believe. I hope for the sake of a certain side wager with K-pop-tosis, I hope not. So
damn. Hater.
Look, I gotta hate on Kyo every now and then. I love the guy, but I also gotta flame the guy. So I used to play with him in Australia. He's a homegrown Australian talent, man.
Oh damn.
So I mean, I guess he's like the equivalent of like a March for NA Dota. NA Dota still claims March as one of their own. Kind of.
Oh god. Oh March.
No.
We love you.
Yeah. LD only when he's winning.
Sounds like something that we do.
Yep.
So how you doing, gods?
I'm pretty good. I've had my tea now.
Yeah.
My monster flavored tea, of course. quick slip up there. No, I'm good. I've had a good day. I'm finally adjusting to the Chinese and SEA schedule, and like we've got 2 days left, and then we're on Europe time. Although Europe's actually quite similar. We start at like 3 in the morning, so
can't wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. But no, I'm good. I'm recovered from last night, which did not end so well. But
too much monster.
Yeah, too much monster. God, man. Yeah, that monster game, that was terrible.
No? Wow. I wonder what happened. I guess maybe there's just some computer difficulties, but
we can see in the booth here, but I don't know too much here. But it's kind of cool how they've got everyone set up for like an actual LAN finals for the qualifiers. It was something like last year after the qualifiers, like this was cool, but having them played on LAN would be even more awesome. But
I feel like it really gets to them though. I feel like a lot of these teams look nervous.
Okay.
Just in their play.
Yeah.
I mean, not really them specifically, like the players, but
during the group stage, would you say that as well, or?
Yeah.
The group stage was not played on front of an actual audience on the main stage, but they were playing from their hotel rooms, as far as I could tell, or maybe it was like kind of like the Valve TI prelim setup where you're in like a conference room.
Yeah. I think the nerves had to have gotten to them. I mean, it's a huge event. I mean, if people were looking and you saw like the pictures of the way that they set it up, it was just like it was beautiful. I mean, but I think that probably puts a little bit more pressure on the teams because it's like, wow, this is it. This is actually it. You actually
Whereas
feel
if
the
you're
presence
like
of it.
for you guys playing from home, like sure it's the TI qualifiers, but it didn't really have the feel of it. Maybe.
I guess. I mean, I think it could definitely have an effect. Like everybody has their own way of when they're playing. Like if you go to a different location, it definitely puts a little bit of pressure on you.
I think for every team it's different. For a team like LGD, I feel like they've been there, they've done it. There is expectations on them to be the team winning this qualifier just because of the LGD name and just the fact that they're the favorites coming in. But at the same time, they're probably not going to let the stage and the setting get to them. Whereas a team like CIS or some of the other younger teams who we saw get knocked out in the first stage of it, maybe those teams will suddenly be like, crap, this is actually TI qualifiers.
Yeah.
But I love the set, man. The player pictures on the wall up there. That's something.
There's a lot of people that are watching too.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I get it's a big deal.
Yeah.
You tell your parents like I'm competing in a qualifier for a tournament with $6 million. Like I guess you'd get friends, families to come out and support you. I don't know. Have you got any family coming to TI to support you?
Yeah, I actually do. I have probably my mom and my brother is gonna end up coming out, and my girlfriend, of course, the same as last year.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite. Probably one of my few favorite moments from TI2 was Jay when he had his whole family there, like watching him. That was one of those things where, okay, he didn't do too well, but it's just so heartwarming when you see like the full family coming out to support him there. And
yeah, I mean, it really helps. It really does help out players. I wish that everybody's family would really just like be able to support like that, because if you don't, it puts a lot of pressure on you.
I used to play a lot of tennis growing up, and it was always like when I would want my mum to. But some kids would hate having their parents watching their matches. But I was like, I would play better when my parents. I'd also rage a lot less. Like as a tennis player, it's a very frustrating game. You want to throw a racket, smash the court, and stuff. But when my mum's there, I know she'll give me shit if I ever did that. So I was like, okay, I lost a bad point. Not gonna rage.
Depends on the sport. I mean,
yeah, no.
I know. I used to play soccer. I didn't really want my family there screaming for me. Puts a lot of pressure on you. Yeah. It's pretty awful.
Yeah, it's embarrassing. You're young. No. But yeah, we've got a bit of an extended pause here. Hopefully going to be back underway fairly soon with this game. Not too sure.
Hopefully the Perfect World servers don't crap out on us in the meantime.
Yeah, we've actually, fingers crossed, yeah. The one thing I'm most looking forward to with the Europe qualifiers is the fact we're no longer on the Perfect World servers and having to deal with everything that comes along with that. But, for now, just extended pause. How are you doing? How are you enjoying LA? Does it beat Canada?
Canada?
You're not from Canada, are you? New York. New York. I'm getting you mixed up with AUI. I don't know why.
At least I know you're Australian, man. Come on. Jeez. I mean, yeah, it's much nicer. New York kind of sucked the past few months. It's been snowy and miserable. But either way, LA's pretty awesome on top of anything, even if New York wasn't snowing all the time. It's just the weather here is just amazing.
It's pretty nice. As an Australian, it doesn't get hot enough for me. I want like proper summer weather every now and then. But we're gonna get the camera on us.
Hey, peoples. Oh, looking at the wrong camera. Oh, hey. Oh.
Get pointed over there, directed.
Like,
hey, you guys. LD's. No, you're close, LD.
No, you're not involved. Come on.
Please.
What are you doing? You're the observer. Boo.
Flawless camera control.
Flawless?
Damn.
How would you rate it out of 10?
I'm not watching his screen too much, but I think LD's usually like at least a 9 or a 10.
Okay.
I'll give you that. Malt's like a 5.
Mott's had 1 or 2 games where he was like really good, then he's had 1 or 2 games where he's really slipped off.
Long days, long days.
Yeah. No, we'll forgive him every now and then, but yeah, no, it's good. It's different. I'm getting told we can go to a break. Do you want to go to a break?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, sure. All right, guys, we're gonna go to a break.
Bye-bye. We'll be back shortly. And nothing's really going on right now. we do see the Panda just rotating bottom. He picks up treads instead of just rushing for his own Ag Scepter too early, but we haven't really seen treads picked up too much by these Pandas. It's usually either phase boots or into like arcane boots or something else. So a little bit strange to see him go for those, but it's really just player preference at that point. And now we do see CIS smoking and using Mirana ult into the enemy jungle, and they look like they're gonna go for a kill on Yao here. Yeah, Yao's got rage, but he's got a Dragon Tail can set a nice little arrow here. Now it's actually gonna get summed up. Arrow to follow, first damage easily enough to bring him down. That's a pretty important kill considering how well Yao was doing. Yeah, and this was just done because of that one ward that the Ancient Apparition just placed actually above their secret shop, and he was able to catch a glimpse of Yao just for a second. So good opportunity there for them, getting the kill. Although they did use the Dragon Knight ulti there, so I don't know if that was. I really don't think that was necessary because there's not even a tower up there. Stunned, yeah, I think he should have really saved it because now it's going to be a third Dragon Knight ulti that can use, not even to press any towers whatsoever. And now LGD knows that as well, so they're just like, all right, let's rotate bottom, let's go for this bottom tower, and this is going to open so much for them because they're going to be able to just take over the enemy jungle and just control the game. Yep. Just to recap for those of you just tuning in or those of you wondering what was the long pause about, we had a bit of a PC issue at the LAN venue. It's LGD versus CIS, game 1 of the best of 3 in the winner bracket finals for the TI4 Chinese qualifiers. Winner of this guaranteed a spot in Seattle, either in the wildcard match or in the main tournament for TI, or possibly both. But we're going to see things kind of progress from here. We've got CIS positioned near the enemy jungle here. They're trailing 3 kills and about a couple thousand gold, give or take a bit. And for now, LGD, as you said, they're going to take over the enemy jungle, get some wards down, and possibly even look to pressure the tier 2 now. Yeah, absolutely. And we do see right away Yao infests up Rabbit. So he's ready. They're ready to just take over that jungle completely. And now they're even going to spot Black rotating toward them. So he might actually be able to get caught out here if he's not too careful. But Shadow Blade he has Shadow Dance as well, always. And now in the meantime, top. DDC's trying to find his Blink Dagger, but he might actually get killed here. And oh, Shackle's off the mark, and he's able to just stun out, and he'll be perfectly fine. Well played, Gad. Yeah, he's just 30 gold short of that Blink Dagger. He desperately wants to try and find a top, and there we go. He's got the money for it, so he'll be a happy Sand King. Yeah, and Gold Lead just still leading a good amount into LGD's favor, about 3,000 or 4,000. Not the biggest deal, but overall their lineup is really strong in this early game, and now they do just go on Black. They're not going to be able to kill him, but they're just trying to pressure him because he's the one who has the most farm at this point on CIS. So if they just keep a lot of pressure on him and they know where he is because he has that Lothars, then they know he's not going to be off trying to pick people off single-handedly. They've got a 4K gold lead, but their lineups really just hit that stage where it's almost strongest. Like you look at the Blink and Fest bombs with a level 2 primal split. Your Sand King's also got a Blink Dagger. Your Viper's got a mech. I mean, it gets stronger later on when you get like finish off the Aghanim Scepter on the Brewmaster, on the Viper and stuff. But for now, CIS will struggle to fight into this 5-man death ball. That LGD, they're going with it right down the bottom lane. Yeah, and like I was saying, CIS's team fight is not good at all. I even said it was garbage before, but LGD does just, they have a really strong 5-man group in comparison to CIS. So it's not just that their team fight's that bad, it's just that LGD's is just so superb. And they're just trying to spam him down with the AALs, power shots and everything, but Tower's going to go down to Rabbit, and that's going to get him dangerously close to that early Acceptor for him, and that's going to be devastating because he's pretty over-leveled. Yeah, they do have that good wave clear you talked about during the draft with the Windrunner and the Dragon Knight, but it's just like it's not going to save your towers. You can burst down creep waves, but the heroes are still right clicking away, and they've got a mech on the Viper to at least somewhat negate the long range AoE spam. Yeah, I feel like if you're running a Mirana support, you need to be finding kills like non-stop with it, because otherwise it just falls off so damn hard. He's doing okay for himself though. He's 2-1 and 4, and we do see Black snipe a courier. Ooh. Didn't get to really see what it had on it. I think it had the point booster from Panda. And yeah, it did have that point. But it wasn't Panda's actually. That was Viper's point booster, I think. Okay. So kind of a big deal there. I mean, it's going to slow down the Viper's tankiness a bit, but at the same time, he's still already quite tanky. I mean, he has a killer and a mech, so it's just it's not too much. I think he's unlikely to die during this time period regardless. It's nice though. It's always a nice gold burst for CIS. For Rabbit, once again, he's got an Infest Bomb inside of him. He's got a Haste Rune as well. He saw the D-Ward happen. He's making his way bottom. This Dragon Knight has got a TP now or he's dead, and misses the Cloud. You need a Primal Split if you're going to cancel the TP. Doesn't Primal Split, uses it now. He may be too late. Gets the Boulder Toss, just barely. Inflame will go down here. Way out now that the TP's been cancelled, and
They'll chase him around the corner. There's another boulder toss. They really had to work for this one, but they will get it in the end.
That was close. He looked like he didn't want to waste the primal split, but you got to use it.
Normally you got to use it normally you got to use it before the TP start. Like sometimes if he TPs and then you primal split afterwards, you don't actually get that boulder toss in time.
Yeah, that was really close there by Rabbit, but they end up getting it, so very good for him. You might as well use the cooldown whenever it's up, because they know that. Yeah, now we do see Windrunner get gone on middle, stun.
They're going to need a second time if they want to get this kill here. Double Starstorm. Gonna not do actually much. That's like a level 1 Starstorm or something. I was like, wait.
Maxing the arrow.
Yeah, I thought that was going to kill him almost there. If it was max Starstorm, he would have died. But we're going to see a second Burrow Strike hit June. The dust is going to land as well. June goes down to an Impetus. Nicely played there by LGD, and the chase is on. They want AO, but he'll leap himself towards the low ground. Burrow Strike. Ooh, 1 second away. Very close to getting another Burrow Strike off to secure a 13th kill for LGD China.
LGD are just being the aggressors, though, all over the place. CIS is trying to put some pressure on the towers, but LGD, they're just reacting instantly, and they don't want to lose. They don't want to give any space to CIS. Black's doing a great job, though. He has a high creep score, but at the same time, taking a look at net worth, he is on top, but then looking at the Windrunner, which is one of their cores, and the Dragon Knight is their other core, they're very, very low.
Yeah, I think looking at the big picture, it's not going so flashy here for CIS. We're going to see a Sanjin Yasha being built from your lifesteal, and with that, he's just going to have insane mobility. Point booster picked up for Rabbit. He's just 1,400 gold away from an Aghanim Scepter, and this is the stage of the game where LGD can consider Roshan. They can just keep on ganking as well, go for tier 2 towers and all that. CIS are trying to get some map control. They picked up a Gem of True Sight, but I don't know about this. Like, I feel like it's a bit of a desperation move almost to be picking up this gem for themselves.
Yeah, I mean, and Black bought it too, which is really strange. I mean, he's like their big.
He wants to solo kill
right
Sand. I think that's the main thing here. Like, Sand King's off on his own. He wants to be able to get the kill on it.
But it's so tough anyway. I mean, he can just Burrow Strike you and just run away. So, I mean, I guess it's a decent pickup, but him buying it, I wouldn't really suggest that, because he's the one who has the most farm on their team right now.
Yeah.
And it looks like LGD's trying to set up for Roshan.
Get the wards down there. Lifesteal is just farming up some exits for now. CS are close by in the mid lane, but they've only got 3 heroes there. 2 heroes towards the top lane, and LGD just going to get to work on Roshan. Chances will start taking up 3 points in the Untouchable, and this makes Roshan very, well, not so much easier to kill, but easier to take less damage.
The beauty of it also is that they have the Drunken Haze to break the Lincolns, and then the Yao can just always open wounds in, and they're going to be sitting basically at full health. So even if the AA Ice Blast comes through, it's not really going to drop them too dangerously close. They're not going to be too scared even if they get hit by it.
Yeah. This is a sad Roche.
He doesn't even attack. He's just sitting there, and he doesn't attack, and he misses every hit if he has Drunken Haze on him.
Yeah.
And he goes down now at the 19-minute mark, and Lifestealer picks it up. So
immediate infest. They're not wasting any time.
I like that decision. He gave it to the Lifestealer over the Viper. I mean, Viper's so tanky at this point anyway, and Lifestealer is going to be in their faces, so I really like that, the way they did that.
Brewmaster and Lifesteal are the ones kind of jumping in, like you say, in their faces, and, well, Brewmaster just pops his ultimate. Lifesteal does not have that same luxury, and he's unlikely to sort of, like, get all the kills he needs in that rage form, because here's, like, Slark, Mirana, Windrunner. They have escape spells to make that so that they can outlast the rage, and that's where you need that kind of backup plan, which can be the Aegis for now.
Black scouts out the Panda. He doesn't know that the Infest is there, though, and now he's just running toward top. He's going to maybe be able to pick off this Sanking, like you were saying, with that upward.
Yeah. Sanking Burrow strikes himself through, but the immediate Dark Pack, DDC gonna get back to his tower, so I said you can try kill Sand King, but I think you're right, he just Burrow strikes his way out of there.
Yeah, because it breaks the pounce, so you don't really have to, you're not really too worried by it, you're never really too pressured, so I think the gem was just picked up to try to just at least get some map control, and it was much needed for them, and them getting down some aggressive wards into LGD's jungle is what they really want to do, because if they can find some pickoffs, that's really what they need. And Rabbit now, he gets out of the Panda, he's not infested anymore, and he's just gonna go pressure bottom lane a bit.
Yeah, well, I think as things stand, LGD are just happy to play things a bit slow for now. They're not really in any rush to get these next couple of towers. They probably want to go for at least the tier 2s during this Aegis timer, but they're waiting for the Ag Scepter on the Brewmaster, the Ags on the Viper, Sanjin Yasha for your Lifestealer. I mean, these items just make him that little bit tankier so that where Black can't actually... Like, what's Black going to do in a fight? All these guys are Shadowblade at this point. Like, he needs at least one more item before he can fight these Aghanim Scepters when LGD pick him up. Yeah, and really interesting to point out, actually, Lin's doing something different. So it looks like LGD wants to go, and they want to try pressuring this tower and just gain an even bigger lead. He's actually going to be going for a pipe before finishing up that Ag Scepter. So probably a good choice, because if they do have that pipe, Blast just is not really going to do much. Neither is the Windrunner Power Shot. And they're going to be able to take at least tier 2 towers. And if they really want to push it, they can maybe even go high ground. But they need to get their lanes out very far before they decide that. Going high ground, you'll just never have a creep wave against a Wind Ranger plus DK unless you have that pipe. Like otherwise, it just instantly melts. So I like that pickup over going for the finishing up the Ags. Yeah. He'll get the Ags eventually anyways, I imagine, if he wants it. But for now, Brewmaster, Aghanim Scepter, 21 minutes, 50 seconds into the game. with his Blink, Treads, Invis Room bottled up as well, and he's got level 13, so still a bit away before he hits that level 16, but he's going to be pretty happy with where things stand right now for LGD.
Ag Scepter, good item. They're going to have 3 Ags up on the side of LGD by the time this game ends up closing out at all. Panda, Viper, and Enchantress are all going to be going for that Ag Scepter, so it's really strong on those heroes, so I can't blame them at all.
In theory, Sand King could as well, but more likely you see a Veil there. Like Veil, 4-star, more kind of utility items for the team.
Yeah, there's just way too good of items that you can get over that Ag Scepter on Sand King. Veil, even Book. I really like Book on Sand King, which we've been seeing some people do.
Okay. Well, LGD happy to make a move towards the mid lane now. They've got most of their team grouped up here. Inflame going to throw a Fire Breath out now, but still 3 minutes on the Aegis. They're going for a counter push towards the top lane. Right move from CIS not to try and defend mid, would you say?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was saying that LGD should have pressured other lanes even further than this before they go for these tier 2 towers. So I think a little bit of a mistake by LGD there, but at the same time, they just want to be able to get these towers down, use the Aegis, and just be able to snowball even more.
Well, they get the tier 2 mid, but they're going to lose the tier 2 top for this one. Still no TPs inside, and Mirana getting the last hit for that one, but LGD say, look, we don't care about that because we're actually going to try and go high ground with the Aegis.
They don't have the pipe out yet, so it's going to be kind of hard to get up there, but they have the Aegis, and they really want to, it looks like they want to burn it. I think not. They're like, you know what, our pipe's not here yet. It's impossible to break high ground at this point. We don't want to risk giving up lots of kills and just end up losing the game off of like one stupid decision.
Yeah, they still have 2 minutes on the Aegis left, so if they want to finish off that pipe and come back in a minute's time, they definitely can consider doing so. But for now, it's just going to be a gem pickup with some more wards, so they're going to look to get some map control of their own with their own gem. And against Slark with a Shadow Blade, it's a no-brainer. You want to have this gem on your team.
Such smart buys, though. The decision-making coming out of even both teams, honestly. Like, Black going for that gem was a little bit weird, but they were able to control the map a bit because of it. And now DDC knows, or LGD in general just knows, that they're not going to be able to just completely break the high ground. So they're just going to get the gem up, D-ward, and just try to strangle out CIS.
And I think, like we talked a bit about this game, when LGD, their lineup comes online in the mid-game, they start pushing towers, 5-manning, they can quickly get really far ahead. They're only ahead by 5k gold in the gold graph. I feel like CIS have done a really good job not getting just blown away by this mid-game.
Yeah, absolutely. Black's doing a great job. I mean, he's the highest on net worth by a lot, and he's going to be going for his S&Y build as well as with that Lothar's gem drum.
And do you like the Sanjin Yasha Slark?
I mean, it's good. He's gonna be perma hasted basically throughout the entire game, so he's gonna be able to just have a lot of mobility all over the place and chase people down very easily. But the big negative factor for CIS is they have a Windrunner core and a Dragon Knight core, and the Dragon Knight had such a horrible start in this game. He's still 0-4. He hasn't really been able to have almost any impact. He found that 1 kill on the Yao in top lane, but his ulti's basically just been wasted every single time. They've put no pressure onto LGD really, and LGD is just able to play their game, which is what you want to do. Just
the one total tower pickup as well in that top lane, which wasn't much of the Dragon Knight's own doing. So we'll see where he can go from here. He has picked up a BKB, so this will give him a slightly better team fight, but I don't think the lack of BKB has really been his problem in this game. This will solve some of his dying issues against the Sand King, but there's Viper Strike to go through. There's a lot of physical damage from a lifesteal, and even the Primal Split to some extent once you get that Agony.
You gotta be careful there. Rabbit might actually be able to get picked off here, but we do see the Mirana ulti, but he blinks out. Very good map awareness there by him. I think it's just because also June backed up from that mid lane. He was getting a bit scared, so he didn't see anyone on the map, and he was like, you know what, it's not worth going for like a range creep. I might as well, I port mid, I go with my teammates, and we're going to go for this top tower. We need to get all these tier 2, and like I was saying, try to suffocate CIS as much as possible. Yeah.
CIS not in position just yet to get that tier 1 bottom tower, but they could look for that tier 1 trade for the tier 2 top if they want to avoid this fight, and this looks like another fight they just can't really take. They probably want to avoid going into, not to mention the Infest Bomb, but this time Sand King's actually level 11, so level 2 Epicenter is coming into play.
Yeah, now AAL is used a little bit prematurely, so it clips only 2 of the heroes on the side of LGD, and this is going to be an absolute free tower for them.
Yeah. The trade is coming, though. With the AA ultimate clearing off the creep wave, it means CIS can get, well, looks to be the tier 1 bottom tower.
Yeah, but I think LGD is going to set up to defend for this one for some reason.
Yeah, TP's coming. Double TP's, in fact, as Viper's going to be TPing on the tier 1. Arrow going to land on him as he TP's in, and CIS, knowing that 1 TP means lots of TPs, they back off, they don't follow up the arrow, they're just using that to help cover their retreat.
Kind of weird decision making. I guess they didn't want to risk anything because the lifestealers Aegis did disappear as well. Okay. And that bottom tower it's pretty important for LGD for that Roshan.
Yeah. You'd normally expect to see either one of the heroes with Blink Dagger being TPing onto that tier 1 tower to initiate. Like you TP the Sand King and get a Blink Burrow Strike with the Infest. But they were somewhat outnumbered with just those 2 heroes going in.
Yeah. Now game's just going to be getting prolonged a bit. I mean, LGD's trying to do as much as they can, but They need to just, I think, you know, try to farm up a bit in the meantime, wait for the Roshan to come up again. They have the pipe now on the Viper, so once they get that Aegis, they're going to be able to at least, they might even be able to break high ground, but it's still always a bit risky to just go for that.
Next Rosh will be, end of the day, like, you go towards the late game here, it still looks like LGD have the better late game. Like, Brewmaster at some point does fall off a little bit, but you've got Lifestealer, Viper, even Enchantress to some extent. Really good late game heroes.
Yeah, and I mean, the big beauty for it is that their offlane is out farming CIS's mid and their I guess their 3-position windrunner.
Yep. Well, we'll see. Sand King and Lifestealer once again teaming up, looking for some ganks here. They'll make their way down towards the bottom lane to sit behind the Viper, but it seems CIS are only like pushing or playing aggressive in the lanes when they see LGD grouped as 5 pushing another lane. Like other than that, CIS will sit back, spam waves a bit, farm their own jungle, but play as safe as possible until they see LGD committing to something on the map.
Yeah, and I guess that's the beauty of having the gem. They're not really too pressured by any wards being in their jungle. Now we do see CIS go for a smoke, and they're gonna. Okay. Looks like they're pinging out that mid tower, so they really want to get that because they know Roshan's gonna be coming up soon.
Well, the DK is gonna be the key hero here. He's gonna get that insta stun initiation off. They want to go on the Brewmaster here, force stuff into a stun. He stuns a creep. Oh no! He comes his BKB off. This will help cover the retreat here. They've no detection right now in the front lines. Brewmaster doesn't. He doesn't have a gem. Okay, I thought the. Yeah, he's passed the gem off to the Lifestealer, which meant they didn't have detection inside that Primal Split. If he had the gem on himself, he would have had that Primal Split detection and maybe been able to at least get a Yules and wait for his backup to arrive to get a kill.
But still, CIS ended up expending a smoke there. They used their BKB on the Dragon Knight and his ulti again, so another wasted DK ulti. At least he's going to be able to farm up a bit with it if he wants to, but it looks like he's feeling a bit pressured and he doesn't really even want to go to farm at all with it.
And looks like into Roshan we go. LGD, a pretty fast Roshan respawn. By the look of things, as LGD are going to make their way immediately into the pit. They're in no rush to get these tier 2 towers. They'll happily take Roshan, get the Aegis for themselves. And do you feel this is just another Lifestealer Aegis?
Probably, but I feel like they could also just give it to the Viper. It's probably not the biggest deal to give it to him. Even though he's so tanky and he's not really going to get focused so much. Okay. I think they're going to give it to the Lifestealer. It looks like, yeah, he made a slot for himself. He gave the gem back to Rabbit, and it looks like he's going to be picking it up.
And Rabbit does have Infest up if they want to start getting aggressive. Now, Rabbit's still not quite level 16 on the Brewmaster, so no level 3 ultimate just yet. And Black gets a trade. You get Roshan, I'll take your tier 1 tower. Not by any means really an equal trade, but it's still something going the way of CIS.
This Slark is going to be extremely scary, honestly. Yeah. He's got SNY Lothars and another 2200 gold on him, and Yao right now pressing a little bit too far up. Black's gonna go on him, but I don't know if he's gonna be able to get this kill unless he just blows him up really quickly.
Yeah, misses the pounce then with that. Yao, he'll get back to his tower. Okay.
He could have. I think he could have gotten the Aegis there if he went a little bit sooner. But he's still being. He's probably questioning himself if he really wants to do it. It's like, do I really want to go for this kill? He's got the Aegis. Tower's right there. Pretty risky. They don't really see everybody on the other side of the map, and we do see Inflame now going maybe for a kill on this Dragon Knight top, but he's just sandstorming. There's no way that they're gonna be able to get him there.
Yep. So we'll get out of there for now. LGD. It's hard for them because every time they go try and push a lane, CIS are just split pushing out the lane, so they have to make a decision. Do we go for a tower trade or do we just do we actually commit to the push? And right now it seems they just want to keep on coming back to defend. They are going to see Inflame. He's got a BKB TP and he may just have to use that one. Ice Blast coming in. He wants the Sand King. It looks like he'll get DDC here. The pipe going to maybe save DDC's life. There's your BKB TP. Viper Strike Slow coming into play and DDC just barely going to survive on that Sand King.
Very nice pipe there by Lin. Nice rotation by him. Yeah. Now Demon is just hiding in the woods casually. No. Yeah, he's actually been hiding in this top lane. I think probably about like 70% of the game.
I remember seeing him like above along the top border of the map as well.
But CIS, honestly, they're doing a great job of just keeping their lanes out and putting a lot of pressure on LGD at this point.
Yeah. CIS, in a lot of ways, they're showing that they're at least in some control of this match. They're kind of being the puppeteers, forcing LGD to move around the map to defend lanes and just constantly kind of push out waves and react to the pressure coming out from CIS. So.
And it looks like CIS is actually preparing to go for the late game, of course. I mean, they have ancient stacks as well for the Dragon Knight if he ever wants to do them. So I think that should be his next goal with his next ultimate, because he hasn't been able to pressure towers at all with it. So he might as well just gain something out of using it.
Okay. Looking at the late game, do you still give LGD the edge?
I don't know, honestly. Like it's really tough to say. They don't really have the best lockdown for the Slark, so I feel like he can actually go kind of nuts, and he's getting dangerously farmed. I mean, he's got his Basher now too, so. If he just gets focused down and dies, though, it goes just so much in favor of LGD if they can get him killed in that one Burrow strike. But if he's able to just run around, he can really pick off almost every single one of the heroes on LGD's side.
Yeah. It's the end of the fight when Slark dies.
Yeah.
There's no real backup plan when Slark's dead. He's their damage output. As I said, Basher is up. It's going to arrive, and he's going to Shadow Blade if he can try and make an initiation towards the bottom lane. Maybe looking for go on Yahoo, but Sand is nearby. Bash in a Dark Pack, but he gets the Burrow Strike. Oh, actually misses the... Oh, hits the Burrow Strike as the Dark Pack was being used, so...
Yeah, and Black was just ready for that. He was just trying to force a TP or something, I think, there.
Yeah.
And he was just waiting for somebody to come in and use that Shadow Dance, and he gets it off perfectly. Puts a little bit of pressure on them, but not the biggest deal.
Yep. For CIS, we've got AO with a full staff on his Mirana, so just getting some kind of utility items for the team wherever possible, and it is going to that late game stage. If this game drags long enough, you're looking at someone like a Wind Ranger picking up a Hex for the team, you're looking at an Ancient Apparition with an Aghanim Scepter. CIS do have late game options, and that's where Black is not going to be the only actual damage output for this team, and that's where things can get a bit scary for LGD.
Yeah, and Rabbit picks up his BKB, and yeah, we do see Inflame use his Dragon form, clear the Ancient stacks, and that's exactly what he should be doing. Because, you know, of course, they weren't able to crush your towers with it all. Now we do see the Sand King Enchantress smoked up with the Sand King, or with the Lifestealer infested inside Sand King.
Slark at bottom lane, but that's just not a hero they can kill. They've got to try to find someone else. Moonlight Shadow being deployed here.
Oh, they're going to go for a kill on this top lane on this Viper.
Not an easy kill by any means. He's got the axe, but with the Ice Blast it becomes a whole lot easier. The Ice Blast damage not going to land, but the Shadow effect is there. Lin.
He just TP out.
He's got Mech and Pipe. He wants to turn around and fight, actually. He can win this 1v2.
Yeah, now Inflame does pick up his TP. He's going to be able to get out, but now Dragon Knight form's used. And BKB is used.
Leap. Oh, he's going to TP out. Yeah, he'll get out of there, okay. Sand King. Oh!
Very close there.
He thought he left even higher.
But now I'm pretty sure that LGD's got the option now that they can go push this top tower. But at the same time, Black's doing something really good. You know, he's pushing out this top, but this bottom lane, but he does not have a TP on him right now.
So if they want to go high ground, it's suddenly going to be troublesome for him.
Yeah, if they clicked on him right now, they actually could.
He's going to either drop a gem or sell the drums or something. Like that's. They've seen him there for some time. I imagine they have clicked on him and saw that, hey, no TP. What are we going to do about this? Let's maybe just pressure the top lane. Now we're going to hit. This is where they want to stall as long as possible. Keep spamming those power shots, those breathe fires, and you can see right now there's just no creep wave for LGD. Their creep wave just gets taken out.
Yeah, and Black's
they've got the initiation on Wind Ranger though. Blink Burrow Strike with an Infest. They're not even going to get the kill on the Wind Ranger. 4 staff and a Wind Run, and Wind Ranger gets out of there. So
that double 4 staff.
Yeah.
Autumn picking it up at the perfect timing as well. We do see Rabbit actually. I didn't get to point it out before. He did end up picking a BKB up after his Aghanim Scepter. So I don't know if it's even really that needed because they don't really have the most lockdown. But you do want to watch out because if you get shackled or Dragon Knight stunned, it's a pretty big deal. So actually, they do have a pretty decent amount of lockdown for it.
Ancient Apparition getting closer and closer to his own Aghanim Scepter now, just 1150 gold away from it, although he's just level 8, so it's still a level 1 Ice Blast, but maybe by the time he gets that Ag Scepter, especially if he can get like a kill along the way, then he's looking towards a reasonably fast level 11.
Yeah, and he actually has gotten 0 earn charges, so that was actually kind of a waste of a purchase, and if he didn't have it, he'd have his Ag Scepter up. But not the biggest deal. I mean, really. It's going to come out a bit later, but he's very underleveled on the AA. You want to have that level 11 Aegis ulti.
Okay, well, Aegis going to be reclaimed. So the second Aegis in a row, LGD just make nothing out of. Do you feel they're being like too defensive and passive, or is it just CIS kind of forcing them around too much with the split push?
They're doing a really good job with the split push, honestly. Black has just been in the right position majority of the time in this game, as well as the Windrunner just keeping the lanes out as far as possible. And Windrunner is actually going to be picking up his Hex really, really soon.
Okay, so Rabbit, Blink Clap towards the mid lane, just going to dodge an Ice Blast with that one, although with Viper showing up, Black is going to be forced out of this, as he's got plenty of HP to play around with, and Smoke, once again, LGD. They just keep using these smokes, keep not finding all too much, and we'll see what they can do with this one. Sand King and Lifestealer.
They're going to get someone this time, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Walking right into Mirana.
Oh, Mirana, no leap out in time. Oh, God, that was so quick and easy, and now, Inflame.
Bash from Yao, and does he get it? Oh, he doesn't.
That was like 3 right clicks too?
I think it was 2 or 3, but pretty unlucky for him there not getting a bash, but
insta bash is a creep afterwards. That's
got that creep.
Where's that inner
now,
Admiral Bulldog?
That's their opportunity to go high ground a bit at least. Yeah. The Mirana's down, they know BKB is used again for the Dragon Knight, and that BKB is getting pretty low now for DK. He's used it defensively 4 times and it's now at 6 seconds.
Yes, and they've got the level 3 Primal Split here. Black just on the front lane trying to stall this out as much. Uses Shadow Dance very early on, trying to focus down Yao here. Yao going to be having to pop his Rage, and the siege on the high ground, it's still a struggle. Ice Blast comes out, gets some kind of, well, not that low, but they used to pipe the mech already, so this next creep wave coming along and just going to get burst down, possibly.
I love this AA's positioning right now. He's just split pushing the top lane as a solo AA and just throwing
That's
ice
so
blasts.
annoying for LGD.
Yeah.
Now we're going to land on lane here. They're going to see Rabbit initiate. There's your primal split initiation. One full stuff going to help Inflame get out of there, but he's still got no BKB for 5 seconds here. Inflame, the detection is there, and with a Viper Strike, he's going to go down 2 seconds on the BKB. DK is dead. Without buyback as well by the looks of things. Nice Ice Blast onto 2-3 heroes here. The Epicenter gets completely negated. His blink cancelled. Shackle shot onto the Sand King, but his Burrow Strike on cooldown regardless. June now will get stunned up. It comes back up, and June, the win run, going to keep alive for a little bit longer. The 4-stuff as well helping out. Side getting a kill on the Enchantress. Ayo, maybe the next to fall, but Rabbit just going ham in the backlines here. Buybacks now start coming out from CIS. The high ground has been breached, but it has not been broken. Black is on the chase trying to force LGD out of their basin.
First hit bash, but he's just giving him a little poke.
Yeah, you get that once you get that first right click, suddenly corrosive skin comes on. You're like, yeah, I don't really want to go on a Viper. It's kind of painful.
And I mean, at the same time, that AA pushing that top lane actually made a big difference. They got about the same amount of damage on the tower top as LGD did in the mid lane, and you could tell that Black was a little bit hesitant just walking into that fight though.
Well, he was very fast to push Shadow Dance.
Yeah.
It was like he leapt in and immediately Shadow Dance. Did not want to get burst down.
Now he's actually got the Abyssal Blade on the Slark as well, so he's gonna be hitting pretty damn hard, and he decided that last fight he didn't want to be in the front lines at all. He went all the way around the back and just picked off the Enchantress, because if he gets hit by too much of the spells that LGD has, he can easily go down, and that's pretty devastating. As I was saying before, it's extremely devastating for them. But Yao is going to be picking up his Abyssal Blade pretty soon on him, and now he looks like Slark going for a solo kill.
Yeah, he can maybe get this one. Lin's pretty tanky here. Going to throw a Viper Strike. There's an Abyssal Blade. Lin actually going to be close. The arrow. I think did the arrow even land there?
It looked like it missed.
It looked like it missed, but he was still stunned. Maybe just another bash coming out. I couldn't quite tell if that was a bash or the arrow hitting. It did look like it missed. Black gets clipped by a Burrow Strike, but immediate Dark Pack coming out. The chase not going to be too successful here. Meanwhile, mid lane, June gets himself a T1 tower, so CIS doing work all over the map. Really nicely played by the young Chinese team.
Yeah, and even though June had to buy out there, he's basically got his Hex. Oh, I was about to say, if he gets engaged on me, that could be disastrous because his buyback's still down.
Yep.
But he's getting very, very close to that sheep stick, so we won't be surprised if he goes and picks that up soon. Inflame does have a Heaven's Halberd on him, on top of 2,000 gold, so he's doing okay for himself. He hits his 16 as well, so he's got that Frost Dragon. And now we do see the Ag Scepter finished up for that AA, and he's very close till he's level 11.
This is where I'd just love to keep staying top lane when those pushes come. But next Roshan's up, so LGD can get the Aegis as well as Chi should they want it. I mean, at this point, they've got to be getting pretty frustrated. They're thinking, like, what do we have to do to win this game? Like, we were in the same position at 20 minutes in that we're at now 40 minutes in, except now CIS are a whole lot more farmed.
Yeah, and pointing out that Yao did not opt to go for that Abyssal Blade, actually. He decided to pick up a Demon Edge, so we're going to be seeing him go for that MKB so that he can just focus down Windrunner very easily.
Not just the Windrunner, but there's a Heaven's Halberd on the DK as well,
exactly.
So there's a decent amount of evasion on the Radiant side. And it's very like this Slark, you're just not focusing him down. He's popping Shadow Dance, he's popping Shadow Blade, he's just being very elusive. So it's like more likely you're going on the Wind Ranger and the Dragon Knight.
And now going into that Roche Pit with open wounds and everything, they're all going to be full health. The AA Blast can come out, but it doesn't look like CIS knows entirely just.
Yeah, Miranda will help him out.
There we go.
It's a big 5-second arrow onto Roshan from afar. So LGD say
the
thank you very much.
AA ulti, but it doesn't really do too much. They're not too scared by it. It's only level 1 ult.
It's LGD just like sidestep the arrow and it's like allowed to hit Roshan, help him out. But now we will have Black farming bottom lane. He's still maintaining that like 5k gold lead on the net worth chart. No one anywhere close to him on farm. The scary thing is though, the next 3 is all LGD heroes, and all of those 3 heroes very equally farmed. So LGD do have a true tri-core lineup, and even at some point Enchantress is going to start being a semi-carry as well. Enchantress' damage output, not something you can underestimate.
Yeah, and they've got that triple Aghanim Scepter that I was talking about before as well, so they're going to be hitting really hard. Yao finishes up his MKB, so he's going to be just decimating through that. That DK is going to be just like food for him.
Yep.
And Enchantress also picks up his own 4-step, so they do have the defensive potential. Now, Sand King getting gone on in the Abyssal Blade, and he's definitely going to get blown up there.
Oh, beautiful
Burrow Strike!
Full stuff as well. Okay, he's okay
that
for now.
That was close.
Black slightly on the run, but Enchantress is pretty good against Slark, because like the max untouchable makes it pretty annoying for Slark to have to fight an Enchantress, I imagine.
Yeah.
Although I guess once you're in melee range, it means you're not taking damage from Impetus.
Yeah, exactly. And that AA Ice Blast was just a bit off the mark, so Sand King ended up living, but very well played there by DDC. Dangerously close to dying.
We can see a look at our net worth here. Still pretty even between the two teams here. 65, 66k net worth total for LGD. For CIS, about 5, 6k gold behind that one.
Pretty close game overall. I mean, LGD looked like they were going to take this one pretty decidedly after like the first blood, of course, going to the offlaner. But right now it looks like, how about this? DD. Oh my
we'll
God,
see just how tanky this Enchantress is. And Slark takes the neutral. I think realizing he can't actually kill an Enchantress because of the untouchable.
And I keep doing that. I'm looking at his name.
Arrow? No.
They don't want to engage on that. It's in a bad spot for them, really.
Any backup, Brewmaster shows up, and suddenly things get a bit shaky.
I keep reading their sponsor as his name too. I'm like, Taba, DD. Oh God, what am I doing?
Well, some of them have their name in the middle, and then you have DDC who has his name at the end.
Yeah.
So. DDC for some reason made his nickname Taobao.
They're tricking me. But we do see Panda now picking up that AC, so that's a really good item to have on Panda because those auras do work while the Primal Split is active.
Well, so, I mean, it's a farm Brewmaster, but at some point Brewmaster is just not really the scariest of late game carries in a lot of ways. So, I guess, I mean, in theory, he's got evasion and crit. You can build him like with an Assault Crest, with an Abyssal Blade. I don't know. Well, yeah, takes one for the team. Dodges an arrow here. This time they are going to go for that high ground push. With Aegis and Cheese on their side, they want to go for this tier 3 tower. Dragon Form is going to be poppy. This is your level 3 Elder Dragon Form. As we're going to see flank coming from behind. Black once again wanting to catch up the backlines here. Some of the squishier heroes. Who's he actually going to land on?
Going on the Sanking right away, and he might actually be able to get him.
There's no Burrow Strike out. Sanking almost going to be brought down. The mech going to save his life here. Burrow Strike nicely used. The Ice Blast going to be off the mark as well, so just gets out of there. Almost a well-executed flank there. The Brewmaster pops his BKB. He's running forward. Not getting a chance to use his ultimate just yet. Another Viper Strike coming out as well, forcing CIS to constantly go retreat. And now hexed up, but this is no follow-up damage being combined with the Hex. So not the cleanest CIS defense, but they're still holding for now. Problem is, they've now used their Glyph, and this Rax is under siege. Black being constantly forced back. The Primal Split still being held onto by the Brewmaster, and
they
Rax
get the
is down.
Yep, and their lanes are in such good position for LGD right now.
Oh, he walked into the shackle! There's no follow-up there. This is... You hit those super long-range shackles, it's like, with CIS's lamp, it's like, and? Like, we're not engaging into LGD. Like, it doesn't work. Another one. It's like, no big deal. Like, CIS do not want to actually engage onto LGD. These shackles do not matter.
Just poking them. Yeah, but LGD looks like they're in no... They don't want to go back because they see their lanes are in a pretty good spot. Bottom's not in the best, but top lane was so pushed in, and now they're going to be able to probably go for a second Rex here.
Yeah, they keep tanking on arrows to the front lines here. Rabbit may have to pop his Primal Speed, gets hexed up as well. The Ice Blast is there. If the Cold Feet procs, it could be problematic for him, but there's your Epis and a Blink. Burrow Strike. Rabbit now gets Cold Feet. He's going to go down. No Primal Split from him. Aya getting low from the Impetuses. Takes a fall as well. Black now on the run, but with forcing out a DK, buyback life still going to go down as well. That's just his Aegis being procced here. Black wants the Enchantress. That's just going to turn and fight, but taking big damage. Every right click doing like 300-ish damage there. They're not going to get the tier 3 top down. They're going to be forced to retreat, so nice hold from CIS all in all. They did have to use a DK buyback, but they're not done. They may find some more pickups here. Black's chasing. Viper Strike going to catch him out, and uh-oh. May have overstayed his welcome. He's going to get stunned up. Black, this could be his first death of the game. He's going to go down. Oh dear. That's a costly one for Black.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, I was going to be getting... Now he's going to be going for that Abyssal Blade really soon. We've seen Enchantress pick up a Mask of Madness, so he's going to be doing a crazy amount of damage once he respawns. But overall, like, that Sanking ultimate did so much damage to CIS there. And even though the Panda didn't get his ulti off, that fight still just went, I think, pretty in favor of LGD.
It seemed like LGD, like the last couple Aegises, they couldn't just push with it. It seems all they needed was just the next few tanky big items, like the Ag Scepters, now there's a Mantis on your Viper, but just having these extra items on some of these core heroes really has made a big difference. Because at some point, all the damage you're taking is coming from a Slug, so the more farmed your 3 cores are, the better off you are.
They really need to stop catching arrows, though, that's for sure. I mean, Rabbit caught that arrow. I thought he was still going to get the Primal Split off, but the Cold Feet procced, and then he ended up just getting bashed again right after that, and he didn't end up getting it off, so... Although the fight didn't go as LGD would have probably wanted it entirely, I think it still went pretty heavily in their favor. They got the mid-racks, they put a lot of pressure on this top, they got the tower, and now they're just going to be able to push out their lanes, probably wait for another Roshan, and then they're going to be able to take another Rax, and that would probably be the game.
The other deciding item which seemed to make it, I mean, you don't notice it making a difference, is that Assault Curse on Brewmaster. It was one of those things, just a bit of extra minus armor onto the buildings as well as a bonus armor onto your whole team. It just allowed them to just break the high ground that little bit easier. So we'll see a small engagement coming out of the winner. Just going to force out the 4 stuff onto the high ground then. LGD maybe going to consider waiting for Roshan before they go for another high ground push, or do you think they just make a go of it regardless?
I think they should probably just wait for that Rosh. I mean, there's nothing they really should just... They don't really have to jump the gun at all. They can just push their lanes out, keep the lanes in a good position, and then go for the Rosh, because mid is constantly going to be pushing in for LGD. And they're going to... Yeah, they can just pick up... They can get another item or so on each hero. Yao actually, again, just ignoring me continuously. not going for the Abyssal Blade again. He picks up a Reaver. He wants to get a bit more tanky just so he can just be in those front lines even more so.
Okay. Well, we will see Inflame. At the top lane, Rabbit runs into him. BKB. There's a Drunken Haze and a clap. Inflame may just have to BKB TP. Yao hit him. Get those bashes. Oh,
bit of a misplay there by him.
Kind of blocked. Yeah, he waited a long time before he started right-clicking there. But if that's a pickoff, that actually probably is those top Raptors. DK had no buyback. He used it the last fight, so... That's actually in theory, could be a big misplay. I mean, he may not have gotten any bashes anyway.
Yeah, but either way, they know now DK form is going to be running out quite soon. BKB as well is down on that DK too, so they're going to be able to go high ground with this. They're not going to wait for the ages. I was wrong again. Yeah. I'm just wrong all over the place, but
it's alright.
Either way,
that's why I asked you. That's why I don't give my opinion.
Yeah,
I can never be wrong if I just sit on the fence.
Oh, what's your problem, man?
Look, as your co-caster, I stand by your thoughts. So I'm wrong with you.
Nice.
They pop the pipe. They go high ground.
Yeah, they're going to be able to go high ground here. They're going to be able to take this Rax probably pretty easily. We see Slark doing again. He's going for the flank. His low
Love that Sanking. This time there will be an Ice Blast. It's not going to hit though. He needs to Ice Blast on him out. They're going to try and focus down Black here. No Shadow Dance being used, but he's just kept out of the fight here. Uses the Shadow Dance, which means now no Shadow Dance, no DK ulti form, and they've already lost the range tracks to the Viper Manta illusion.
For the first time now in the entire game, Lifestealer surpasses Slark on the network.
Hey, they're dodging arrow. They're learning.
Yeah, but looking at the buybacks as well, they used 2 buybacks the last team fight on the Windrunner and the DK, so this is really LGDs. They get the stun on Black, and he doesn't have Shadow Dance out, and he's got to go down. I think he does have bio. He does, and he uses it right away.
Yeah, Primal Split's now being cast as well. They're going to get Inflame without his... He's got his BKB pick up because of the 4-second BKB, but doesn't even get a chance to use. Now Mirana forced to leap out of there, Sanking a bit late on the Virus Strike. The Ice Blast will come through, catches the Enchantress, so maybe one casualty on the LGD side, but it doesn't look like we'll be seeing too many more. Black's trying to force some here. Wants to kill off the Primal Split Warrior. This could actually be another kill, but it's going to time out just in time for Rabbit. He's going to blink himself back in with a clap. That's a dead Slark. That's a game 1 in the bag for LGD. GG is called in CIS. They fought hard and long, 48 minutes plus, and just wasn't enough to bring down LGD, unfortunately.
Yeah, CIS did a really damn good job. I mean, they had quite a rough start, but overall, I think the big thing that just hurt CIS so much was the fact that DK wasn't able to use his ult form, I don't even think once, the way that it usually gets seen. He didn't get the pressure towers almost at all. They ended up just having to just split push the entire time because LGD's team fighting lineup was just too damn strong. Yeah.
I mean, do you think it was largely the LGD lineup, or just that the DK could have done more and could have played that one a bit better? Or a combination, I guess, is the...
I think probably a combination of both. It's the DK, I think he had a pretty bad game for himself.
Alright, well, we'll get LD, our host, back in, as well as our 9/10 observer. Fantastic job there.
I did miss the courier kill, but that's okay.
So
I caught it after the fact.
A 9.5 for that game, then.
Okay, thanks, guys. Appreciate it. So I'm just glowing with all the praise here. But LGD, to me, just a very safe, solid LGD type of win. So I think the biggest thing that game was the Lifestealer getting a double damage rune at level 1, having boots first, which you often do see on offlane Lifestealer. That just made Ancient Apparition's game a living hell from then on out. He didn't have boots until like 9 minutes into the game or something. I think he was also buying wards for the team a lot of the time. Hiding in trees, he was very underleveled. Even by the time, like, it's rare to see an Ancient Apparition level 2 ultimate Ags that feels useless. That one felt almost useless. There was a mech, there was a pipe, everyone had like 2,000 plus health. It just wasn't that scary.
Yeah, I think it's a different game if Lifesteal doesn't get that, because they don't complete, like, he's going to get experience bottom lane. They had a pretty weak dual lane, but they can at least stop him getting a ton of farm there. He had phase boots 5 minutes in the game.
And we have seen Slarks, they don't necessarily do the best at the first few levels against Lifesteal, but once you get like level 5 or so, level 6 especially, you can drive him out of lane, and eventually Black did it. But imagine if the Lifesteal didn't have fast phase boots, if he hadn't been fed First Blood. More than anything, it was just bad luck from Ancient Apparition. I think, like Yana said, sure, Lifesteal can try and run him down, but without the double damage rune, it's probably not a kill.
Yeah, it's just risky too. I mean, if the Slark comes over, you're at risk of dying yourself there, because then you did go for the open wounds. You do have boots, but Slark's pretty damn good at chasing heroes down. I don't know if he had the Orb of Venom right away, but either way, overall, I still have to just give this to LGD just so much over just the draft in general. Like we were saying previously, CIS's drafts are just a bit questionable out of these games. The Mirana support didn't end up doing so bad. He got a decent amount of farm. I mean, he had a Desolator and a 4-staff ending the game, but...
He had a ton of arrows during the base defense, but they weren't game-changing arrows.
I think bigger problem than Mirana support's the Wind Ranger, though. Like,
yeah,
Wind Ranger's just
very true.
a questionable pick in any draft, I think, with where Windrunner is currently in the metagame.
The other thing I want to point out is that, to me, this is just classic LGD. Aside from catching too many arrows, the way that they siege the base is very disciplined. You'll see Lifestealer walks in and hits the towers. The Sand King, almost always in good position. He got caught once or twice by Black, but he got caught next to his team. So then they just descend on Black. Viper strikes, which, by the way, you cannot Dark Pact off, so he's useless once that happens, and he's out of the fight.
Yeah,
so
he's basically forced to pop that Shadow Dance, and then if he goes to try to re-engage, they know that Shadow Dance is down, and if they just go on him completely with everybody, he's gonna get focused.
He never went I mean, I don't think he could have gone BKB. It's like a 4K investment just to kind of Burrow Strike.
And Viper can still ult you, and you just get kited.
When his Shadow Dance was down, he would just get Burrow Striked and die.
Viper is one of the best heroes against Slark. I don't think Viper is that strong of a pick in general, but it's very annoying to play against him, especially once he gets Ag. So I think going into game 2, draft could be a little more solid. I feel like CIS have to snowball, or they have to have a really strong late game line. You mentioned angling for late game, Giannis, and this was like not really the best late game draft.
Yeah, I mean,
support Mirana can be, but didn't really get that much farm. Had a Desolator and Force Staff in like a 50-minute game, and I don't know. They just needed more if they wanted to win it late.
And like, what did you really feel off the impact of the Windrunner? I really don't know much. I mean, he was doing a decent job of keeping the lanes a bit pushed out, but overall, he landed some good shackles. But what
they
did
were
they really
pointless
do?
shackles. Like,
Exactly.
they were shackles when the team couldn't engage anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I remember the last good Wind Ranger performance I've seen was EGM played a 4-position Wind Ranger, and well, oh no, actually he was solo mid. That's right. S4 wasn't able to make the game. He stood in and he made a lot of things happen. But I kind of like the solo mid Wind Ranger better than these side lane dual lane Wind Rangers.
The hero's best position currently. Although I still don't think it's the best hero to be picking from mid lane. But that's where Na'Vi are one of the teams who've run more Windrunner mid than I think anyone. Like
it used to be like how they would try and counter Invoker mid for Dendy is he would play Wind Ranger. Or Windrunner back then.
I think the other heroes are just way stronger now at this point. I don't know. I don't really like the Windrunner. I love the concept of the hero, but he just doesn't really do much in most of these games.
Stop buffing Focus Fire. It's not the problem with the hero.
Yeah.
You can make Focus Fire as good as you want, and it's the
they buffed Windrun too, but
that's true. They did actually, but that buff, it's like you're Radiant offlane in a dual lane with a Mirana back you up. You don't need to be more survivable. Yep. So. Well, with that being said, guys, I guess that's going to wrap up Game 1. This is, of course, a best-of-3. Winner of this match guaranteed trip to Seattle. Will LGD make the return once again, or will their dreams and ambitions fall short here? They're up 1-0. They would have to lose 2 in a row to drop down, and should CIS drop this game, they will not be out of the tournament, but they will play in the loser bracket finals tomorrow. So with that being said, I'm LD. I'm joined here by Fog Gods. Guys, we'll be right back for game number 2. You're watching the International 4 Chinese Qualifiers presented by Monster. Stay tuned.